What's up everybody? Today I'm going to plant this chocolate ghost pepper seedling in this 18-gallon drink tub from Target. Some of you guys may recognize this drink tub from my giant Fatali plant video last year. If you don't recognize it from that, be sure to go check out that video on my page. I'll link it in the video description. It is a sad day in the pepper patch though, because I got to announce that plant actually did not make it through the winter this year. Well, it made it through the winter, and then this spring I had it out one night and we had a freak kind of 22-degree night, and the plant did not make it through that. So that opens up the tub for this year. Gonna plant this chocolate ghost pepper in it and see how it does. So to start, I'm just gonna kind of refresh the soil in this tub with some homemade compost. This is just, maybe half a 5-gallon bucket worth of homemade compost that I'm gonna mix into here. Okay, now I'm just gonna mix in this 12-10-5 granular fertilizer. This one does have calcium added too, which can help with blossom end rot for those first couple peppers of the season. That was the end of my bag, so it's mainly dust, not grains. Okay, I've got a little hole dug for my seedling here, and now I'm gonna add my secret weapon for this season. This is an inoculant of some fungi that bonds with the plant roots and is good for them. So I'm just gonna cover kind of the bottom and the sides of the hole with maybe a teaspoon or two of that. Okay, I kind of pulled the top strip of my pot off, but I didn't want to mess with the bottom at all because there's roots in there that are kind of bonded to it, and I don't want to damage any of those. So I'm just going to plant it with that attached, and these are biodegradable pots, so it'll just turn to dirt. The roots will grow through it eventually. Once they come into contact with this DYNOMYCO, I'm sure they'll really take off. That's it. I will keep you guys updated once this thing starts to take off. Okay, this chocolate ghost pepper has been in this big tub for exactly 1 month now, and it's been growing really well. It's really crazy how big some of these leaves have gotten. Some of these are like as big as my hand on here, so it's good to see this plant looks healthy. Here's another huge leaf on this. Looks healthy. He's probably about a foot tall now. Got lots of sprouts kind of coming up under the canopy here. So doing really well. Only thing I've done in the past month is water this. I haven't added any additional fertilizer or anything like that. So this plant is still just growing from all those nutrients we put in when we planted him. This tomato I did not plant. That's just a little volunteer coming up. So I don't know if that seed was in the compost I used maybe, or if a bird put it here or what, but I'll probably move it, transplant it out of here just so this pot can stay dedicated to this chocolate ghost pepper as I try to grow it large and get a good harvest. So I'll update you guys probably in a couple weeks now that it's growing really well in this pot, but just wanted to give a 1-month update to show kind of how much foliage has grown in the past month. Believe me or not, it has only been 2 weeks since my last update, and this plant has had really good growth. Again, I've only been watering it. I haven't added any additional fertilizer or anything, but this canopy is really spreading out on the plant. I think it's just the long days. We're kind of on the longest days of the year now. So I think all that light is just really benefiting from, and we've had some really good rain as well. But the most exciting update is we actually have quite a few flower buds coming out in this plant, and kind of at every fork we have several. I'm not sure if it's a mutation or what, but I have almost never seen this many flower buds on one plant. You can see these things are just loaded down with multiple coming out of every fork. Some of these are so close, I'm not even sure how all of those can turn into peppers, but we shall see. And I will keep you updated probably once all these flowers get to opening and turning into fruit. You can see here's an open one here. But this plant has gotten really big and I'm very happy with it. I'll probably fertilize it once it really starts flowering just to give it that extra little boost to develop the fruits. But again, this is a 2-week update since my last video, and I'll update you once we have fruit. It hasn't even been 2 weeks since my last update. It's only been 12 days, but you can see this plant has continued to show out with growth, and it's really cool that the flowering has actually kept up with that growth. We have some insane flowering continuing, and even more exciting is we have pepper pods. So all those first few flowers I was showing y'all almost 2 weeks ago where the plant forked out are all now little ghost pepper pods. You can see they're just hanging in here like crazy. This is the biggest from one of our first flowers here, and they just continue all the way up the plant. It is unbelievable, the genetics of this plant and just how many flowers are in the canopy here. It is crazy. I've never seen this many hanging from a plant in dirt, maybe hydroponically, but this is just crazy. I am going to give this plant a little fertilizer today, just a little boost to continue to support all these pepper pods developing and to keep that flowering going, hopefully. So if you remember, this plant is still going off the first bit of fertilizer and compost we put when we transplanted into this tub. So with all these fruit though, I'm gonna give it just this balanced all-purpose mix that does have calcium added as well, just because I want to keep this plant strong as it supports the weight of all these pods. Want to support good pepper pod development. So I'm just gonna take this mix. I've got about a quarter cup here probably, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it kind of all around the plant, but not right up against the stem, and I'm going to try to keep it under the leaves as well. All right, 2 weeks on from my last video and fertilizing this plant, it continues to grow. It's actually probably wider than it is tall now. It's just a jungle in there. It is still flowering kind of all along the ends of that new growth, and the pods underneath continue to develop. I actually had to tie it up here to the stalk because the weight of all these pods was tipping the plant over out of the dirt. So hopefully that string holds it and doesn't harm the plant any. This thing is very large. The exciting update for today is our first pods down in here are starting to get some color. This is supposed to be a chocolate ghost pepper. I guess we'll see. If they do go chocolate, they look a little red to me, but I'll keep you updated. And my next video will probably be harvest, and I'm excited to see just how many pods we get out of this thing. I'll just keep up with regular watering until then, so stay tuned. All right, the giant pepper plant continues to grow, and I have good news and bad news. The good news is that peppers are starting to ripen. The bad news is these are definitely not chocolate ghost peppers. Look at that deep red. So I'm kind of second guessing if these are even ghost peppers now. Let me know in the comments what you think they might be. Some of them make me think they might be just red habaneros, but then some of them have more interesting shape. It's been cool to see them ripen all over the past week. It's been really hot out, so they all just kind of all at once went from green to then they'll kind of flush like that, and then all of a sudden they'll go red and kind of finally this deep dark red. So this is pretty cool to see this many peppers loaded onto this one plant. I did have to kind of tie him up over here because he was trying to tip over just with so many peppers. But I'm about to pick all these and see how many we get. I don't even know where to start picking. There's so many on here. I think my method might be to start at the bottom, and then I'll just work my way up until the ones are gotten all the ripe ones, and then I can let these keep going. So about to pick my first one here. Pretty cool. I love the red. Like I said, not sure what they are. I'm sure they're spicy though. Add them to our tray. All right, guys, if my count is correct, we have about 62 peppers in this first haul from this plant. These are just these gorgeous red peppers. Like I said, not really sure what they are, but I'm sure they're spicy. And we got 62 of them. And then if my guesstimate's correct, we got at least twice that many still on the plant. I'll have some of these pink ones kind of ripening up in the next few days, and then some of these green ones might take a little longer. The plant actually still does have flowers and buds as well, which is good because I want to try to isolate some of these seeds, just since this plant obviously has really good genetics and it's been a top producer this year. But here it is, the first harvest. All right, guys, it's only been about 4 days since my last video, but we do have more peppers turning red. So I'm about to pick them and see how many we can add to our total. You will notice this bag. This is to prevent cross-pollination with any other peppers in my garden, because as I've mentioned, this plant has really strong genes. So I kind of want to save seeds from it, but I want to be sure the genes are true to this seed, and peppers have a perfect flower, so the flowers can pollinate themselves. So I tied this little mesh bag around this flower that's about to open, and that way I'll be sure that that flower pollinates itself and that it isn't getting pollinated by any of these other pepper plants I have near it. And that way I know the seeds in the pepper that it produces will be true to it. But that's just another thing I like to do, and I'm about to get picking here and see how many we get today. All right, 20 more ripe red pepper pods today. And there are plenty more on this plant, some already turning red as well. I'm not stopping this video till I get to 100, guys, which I think we will definitely hit, so stay tuned. All right, it's been about a week since my last video, and we have more red peppers on this giant plant. They're red and ripe and ready to pick. So you guys know the drill by now. I'm about to pick all of these, and then we'll count them up and see how many we got, adding to our total of 82 so far, I do believe. All right, that's 18, which officially means we have hit 100 peppers from this plant over the past 3 harvests, and there's more to go. So I'm just gonna keep going, and we will see how many we can get to. Okay, we are right at 50 more peppers with that haul, which puts us at just over 130. And there are still lots on here. I left quite a few orange ones on there that are just now starting to ripen, and we still even have a ton of green ones on here. But that being said, I know you guys kind of know the drill by now, and we are over 100 peppers total for this plant, sitting at just over 130. I think this could be a 200 pepper plant. That's what I got out of this tub last year, was I got about 200 from a plant. But I think I'm gonna call this video here just because we've done it. We've grown a gigantic chili pepper plant in here. It wasn't the chili pepper plant we thought we were growing, but these are really good spicy peppers, whatever they may be. Be sure to subscribe if you're still watching, and I hope you liked the video. I am going to make a sauce out of these, so I'm going to do a vacuum seal ferment on all of the peppers that I've picked from this at once, and make it into a hot, kind of Louisiana style hot sauce. So be sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that, And again, just thank you so much for watching.